Hello and welcome back to my training vlog. At the beginning of this week, I started out with just some bodyweight calisthenics. My hips and my shoulders have been kind of feeling a little bit weird, so I feel like I needed to take a step back and just focus on some things that were a little bit easier for me to do. And not to mention, on this day, I was getting the house cleaned, so I had to take a break from that stuff and do this in the backyard. Right here, you see me doing some weighted leg circles, rond de jambes if you're in ballet. And what I'm trying to do here is just make it a little bit harder for me to do these uh, essentially like hip rotations or joint rotations, because I wanted to kind of get to the bottom of some hip pain I've been having. And I think ultimately what I figured out is that this is a specific joint pain. It is not a muscular pain. So that means it's going to take a little bit longer for it to heal. And it probably was from me going a little too hard into my breakdancing training and pushing a little too hard and doing gymnastics flares that has caused a bit of an issue in there. But anytime I kind of get hurt like that, I try to slow things down and really focus on some fundamental work here, right here, doing some kind of really slow roundhouse kicks to develop some more strength in the hips over time. And instead of doing front and back levers, I'm here just doing skin the cats to kind of allow my shoulders to be a little more healing to go on. So, always listen to your body. It's pretty smart, more than you think it is, and you have to give it time to recover properly. And I had not been doing that. I've been going too hard, even though I thought what I was doing was an acceptable level. Right here, I'm doing a slow eccentric push-up. That took me over a minute to do, just one, going from the top to the bottom. I love doing those when I'm doing a rest day. Right here, this is my abdominal work, and nothing really changed with that as far as for this day. Here I decided to just do hanging. I decided to put my hands in different positions on the bar and hang in different positions. So I have my hands turned in, turned out, and you can actually see me going through these deep breaths if you watch my back. And I'm just trying to expand my diaphragm and get this internal stretch in these different positions here. So all it was there was just hanging, and then finally I was doing some retracted lifts behind the back right here. Again, this happening over a long period of time, and I'm holding about 5 pounds in each hand as I'm doing those. I forced myself to go and work out and do some acrobatic work. It was really difficult this day. I did feel very tired, and I was kind of lacking strength and ability this day. It was a rough day just in general. I was very tired, but I tried to do what I could. And I just kind of realized that I really did need to take a step back from all that. I am getting a lot better at doing the cartwheel rebound to my back flips. I have a really strong flip where I'm landing more upright now, and that is a great benefit to this. So if anything, I'm just getting better at that. And here's some more work of me trying to develop my full twist from an Arabian setup. All of these were pretty good in my opinion. On this one right here, I'm just working on the rebound. I'm getting actually pretty high, and I felt really good about all the height here, but when I went for the final skill, it was obviously quite low. I was lacking in awareness in that, and you could see that I hit the ground so hard with my landing that the whole entire ground shook at me and my camera moved. I decided to do some overhead pressing from the headstand position instead of doing it just from the handstand position, and made me realize that I've come a long way with this particular type of skill. Clearly, I did not end up walking away and coming back another day. I did started focusing on just bringing more awareness to the skill I was doing, and went back to my Arabian set, feeling the heel drive. Unfortunately, even though I did all that, it got a little bit better, but I still was struggling with that for the day, and I think it was just because I was lacking power and awareness because of that. Here I was trying to do some standing fulls and just get a better understanding of my Arabian position. You can see here I'm experimenting with either looking over the shoulder or under the armpit, and both of these have, great advantages if you know how to use them. Over the shoulder is really great for if you're going to be doing more of a hard ground style of twisting, because you can't always get your arms all the way up. And then if you look underneath the armpit, that works really good for rebound surfaces and really sets you into a better position. Allows you to get more height usually with your rotations. And really it is up to the individual person, but most acrobats that I've met that are high-level acrobats will spot underneath the armpit for at least the first time they're developing their twisting, and then they might change that once they get into higher levels of twisting. Right here I'm just doing some conditioning at the end of the workout and some stretching to finish things up. Right here, just some more meditation work. So here's some nice incense, and then me doing some breath work after my meditation. It's basic Qigong. I don't know much about Qigong other than I'm just doing slow breathing, focusing on breathing inward, being very light with my movement, and then breathing outward, and my movement comes down. So breathing in, I bring the motion toward me. Breathing out, I bring the motion away or downward. And that's worked out for me so far. I decided to go back to my warm-ups that are a little bit longer, and I wanted to incorporate my crawling again because I had not been incorporating my crawling, and I think this will actually help with my joint recovery more because it just preps the whole body for moving better, and I think is a great warm-up, and not to mention the benefits of just doing the crawling work. It sometimes takes a little bit longer, but I don't mind taking a little bit more time if it means greater benefits overall. Finally, finishing up with all this, I was just doing some leg swings, some bridges, and then I started doing some handstands and eventually got my cartwheels going for this day. So this isn't all the stuff that I do in my warm-ups, but this is pretty basic stuff you should be doing in acrobatic or movement warm-ups, depending on what you're trying to accomplish for the day. I decided to give this one more go. I wanted to try and do a strict cartwheel rebound back full, so I'm trying to really feel the set and then get the twisting action going over the top. This actually was probably one of my best attempts at doing this and doing a proper tilt twist over the top. Right there was actually pretty good. Right here I cheated a little bit and I landed a little bit higher. And I was actually quite impressed by being able to do that because that's probably the best I've ever gotten from a strict setup. I was noticing my bicep was really hurting when I was doing this, like very sore, and I was wondering what that was from, and later on I came to the conclusion that it actually was from doing all this drum work that I've been developing. I'm learning how to play the darbuka, which is the Mediterranean drum. Also, I've been crushing my toe a little bit upon my landings, so that was starting to aggravate me a little bit. Again, I'm just trying to show that I'm bringing awareness to my training, trying to be respectful to my body. Last week I was having trouble with my windmills and some other things, and I decided to slow down the windmill so it could allow me to think more about the technique. This felt really good, so I just did one set and kept going. And then right here I decided to work on my side set from a cartwheel full. This technique allows you to take off sideways, so you're really only doing a 3/4 of a twist instead of it being a full twist. The side setup cartwheel, this again allows you to be more to the side to start. You can usually set a little higher because of this and spot the floor because of this. However, because of this setup, usually you end up doing a slightly off-tilt axis for your spin instead of going vertically over the top.